Welcome to the Church on a Hill podcast with Tim Sievers and Pastor Corey from Palouse Federated Church in Palouse, Washington. We're glad you could join us. Good to be with you, Pastor Corey.
It's good to be here, Tim. And this is a brief podcast we have today on Giving Tuesday. And I'm just going to ask you some questions because you're the man with the information about Giving Tuesday. So briefly, Tim, can you tell us what is Giving Tuesday and how is our church involved in it? What are we doing with it here in the greater Palouse area?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So Giving Tuesday is a worldwide movement to try to help raise money for nonprofits. And it's always, at this time of year, we have Black Friday and Small Business Saturday and Cyber Monday. And is like, okay, there's all of this money going out in commercial enterprises. But what about those organizations that really help people and do things to build up people and our nonprofits, and how can we support them? So the idea came about to have a day of giving on the Tuesday following all that other stuff. We're gonna get the focus a little bit off of us and more onto other people and see how can we support nonprofits, community organizations, and the work they do.
And that's December 2nd this year, right? Is that right? Or December 1st?
December 1st.
Tomorrow. If you're watching this November 30th, it's December 1st. Right. Tomorrow, Tuesday. And so who's participating locally and why are these organizations involved together? What's going on there?
So well, one of the things, of course, that we've noticed in our small community is that the fundraisers that usually happen in a year haven't been happening. There were no Vicotic spaghetti feeds. There were no Haunted Palouse didn't happen. A lot of our community organizations get support from the ticket revenue from Haunted Palouse. And we thought, well, can the church do anything about it? And we don't have the resources we can't just give away the amount of money that Haunted Palouse gives away. We don't have those kind of resources, but we have some infrastructure in place that we thought could help our community organizations raise money. And so we put together a website. We put together, we have a giving mechanism.
What's the website, Tim?
So PalouseGives.org, PalouseGives.org, and you can, there's all kinds of information there, but we put that together. We have a giving mechanism through our church that allows us to receive donations and allocate them to funds. And so people can give specifically to a fund, and 100% of those proceeds then will be dispersed to the participating organizations. So how they came to be involved was simply that we sent out a request to some of the people that we know who weren't able to do fundraising this year, who didn't benefit from Haunted Palouse, and asked if they'd want to participate in Giving Tuesday. It's a largely social media driven, online only fundraiser. So a lot of the work has to be done by them in terms of getting the word out to their supporters and stuff like that. But we can help them with the infrastructure part of it and bringing people together. We've done a little bit of community advertising, sent out news releases, all that kind of stuff. So, and our organizations that are participating are the Distinguished Young Women of Palouse, GPAC, which is our local youth sports club here in Garfield, Palouse, the Garpal Vicotics, our robotics team, the Palouse Empire Young Life, and the Palouse Skate Park and the Tony Kettle Skate Gardens. And all of these organizations have ongoing expenses that don't necessarily disappear just because you're in a pandemic. And while the kids at GPAC maybe aren't playing, they still need to have money raised in order to support their uniform replacement and equipment replacement and all that kind of stuff. And the same is true, our Vicotics crew, they're still building a robot, doing that kind of stuff. They don't know exactly what their season's going to look like, but they still have needs. Same with the skate park and the garden, and the Distinguished Young Women still wants to provide scholarships. Maybe they're not doing an in-person event this year. Maybe it's online only, but they still want to be able to serve our community in that way. So this is a way that our church can help facilitate that, and we can bring people together. The church doesn't benefit, we're not making money on this or anything like that. It's not about us. It's really about us helping others.
Got it. And if they want to learn more about each of the organizations and what they do and why they need funding, like the specific activities they are still doing, where can they go again for more information?
So because it's online event, primarily, we're asking people to go online to that PalouseGives.org website. There's information there, little brief snippets and photos for each of the organizations talking about what they're up to and why they need funding. And that's also where you'll be able to give on Giving Tuesday. Is you go to PalouseGives.org, and there'll be a button on the main page that says Give Now. That'll take you to the giving mechanism. You select one or many that you want to give to and how much you want to give to, and just follow the prompts, and it takes care of the rest. So it's a pretty simple way to give and support in this time.
Yeah, and if you want to share that information with other people who might like these organizations or know Palouse or like to support things in Palouse, I'm guessing we can share that. You can share that on social media and so forth. So,
absolutely. And so we'll be sharing some images and stories on our church Facebook page. There's a Facebook group that's been created for Palouse Gives as well. And if you want to be a part of that, you can join in. But the power of this is in the sharing and telling other people and encouraging them to give. So if you want to give, that's great. Also share with those in your social networks and make sure they know they can give too, and support the things that are important to you and important to our community.
Cool. Well, you answered all my questions, Tim. Thank you.
All of them? Excellent.
That's it.
So yeah, one day only, December 1st from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. And there's also incentives for each of the organizations. If they, whoever gets the first donation gets a bonus, financial bonus. And then there's some other bonuses throughout the day based on number of donations and in certain time periods and stuff like that. So it's important that you get out there and you support these organizations, and we hope that everyone will be a part of it. And you don't have to give a ton, give what you can, but it all adds up to make a real big difference. So cool. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for letting me talk, for a while here about Giving Tuesday. I think it's important for our community and for us to have these opportunities to give and support the community, and appreciate the church for being willing to sponsor the financial incentives, bonuses for the organizations, and I just really hope this turns into something good, and for the future too, that maybe we can have, if things continue on as they do, we may need this again next year. So yeah, please share the information out there, everybody who's listening, and do your part, even with a small donation, and give here because you live here, and these organizations matter to you and to our community. So great. Well, thank you, Corey, for joining me on the podcast and being the questionnaire. And thank you all for listening and watching. This has been Tim and Corey coming to you from our Zoom studios here in the rolling hills of Palouse, Washington. And we hope you have a wonderful week. And remember to give online at PalouseGives.org for Giving Tuesday.